In 1944, Neville Goddard, a man with no scientific training, published a 50-page book claiming that consciousness reshapes the physical structure of the brain. 80 years later, neuroscientists at Cornell are using advanced imaging to capture how the brain physically rewires itself, research that some interpret as echoing the process Goddard described. This is a problem no one wants to face. Neville Goddard was born in Barbados, came to New York to study theatre, and at 24 met Abdullah, an Ethiopian rabbi who walked the streets of Harlem as if carrying secrets too ancient for the modern world. Abdullah took Goddard as his student and for 5 years transmitted a complete system: Kabbalah, Hebrew, mystical interpretation of scripture, and something he simply called the law. The law was precise. Imagination is not fantasy. It's a literal creative force. What you sustain in your mind with sufficient feeling imprints itself on the structure of your being. The outer world is solidified consciousness. Change the consciousness, change the world. Abdullah demonstrated this brutally in 1933. Goddard wanted to visit his family in Barbados for Christmas, but had no money for passage. He mentioned this to Abdullah, expecting sympathy or practical advice. Abdullah replied, "You are in Barbados." Goddard protested. He was in New York, in the cold, without a cent, thousands of miles from the Caribbean. Abdullah closed the door in his face. Literally, he refused to discuss the reality Goddard insisted on seeing. In the following days, every time Goddard mentioned the lack of money or the impossibility of the trip, Abdullah repeated the same phrase and ended the conversation. There was no room for negotiation. The instruction was absolute: live from the end. Sleep feeling the sway of the ship. Feel the Caribbean sun on your skin. Hear your family's voice welcoming you at the port. Inhabit Barbados internally, with all your senses, with all your emotion, until Barbados becomes inevitable externally. Don't visualize from the outside like watching a movie. Feel from inside, like someone already there.